A very rich man, Mr. Rogers, had a son whom he loved very much, and sometimes spoiled, giving any amount of money the son asked for, though he tried mostly to bring the boy up strictly. But little Isaac grew up into a stately young man, and, like many of his peers, brought a woman into the house. He told his father that she was to be his bride. Of course, you can get married, but you must understand the responsibility of having a wife, and the family finances to go with it. If you bring me the amount of money you have earned by your own labor, I will immediately arrange a wedding for you. The young man smiled at his father's words. What an easy task, Isaac thought to himself. The next day, the young man completed the task and brought Mr. Rogers a wad of money his father had given him before. But Mr. Rogers, without hesitation, threw the stack of bills into the burning fireplace. The son ran up to his father in terror, asking, What have you done?" But Mr. Rogers just shook his head and said, "No, son. I told you to bring the earnings of your own sweat and toil, but you brought me money I gave you." The next day, a discouraged Isaac borrowed a small sum from his mother and took it to his father. But he again dismissed the money, ripping them to shreds right in front of him, and saying, "I know you borrowed that money, and I asked you to earn it by your own labor," Mr. Rogers repeated sternly. Isaac covered his face with his hands in despair and said, "Father, why are you doing this to me? You asked me to bring you money, and I did. Let me get married." Mr. Rogers sighed and, for the third time, said the same phrase. "You didn't earn that amount with your sweat, son." The young man thought for a long time about what his father meant by "earn by your own sweat." And then, when he was already quite desperate, he saw an ad for loaders. The salary was quite small, but he had no other choice. In the morning, he went to work. It was hard and exhausting, and Isaac sweated with every toil. And every night when he came home, he couldn't even find the energy to eat because he was just too exhausted. 6 months passed like that. Then the young man finally brought the money he had earned to his father. As usual, he took the wad of money in his hands and swung it into the fire, when suddenly his son cried out desperately, "No, you can't throw that in the fireplace. I worked hard for it, and without a moment's rest, I brought you the money." Then Mr. Rogers, with a broad smile on his face, put his hand on his son's shoulder and said the following, "Now you can get married, because you know the value of this money you've earned by your own sweat. And you won't squander it foolishly in your family budget." Sometimes it is only after going through hard work that we realize that we must spend finances thinking about the hardships we have gone through.